Hey everyone, so I'm back again for another video. This time around I have another collection to show you guys, and this is actually going to be my Game Boy Advance collection. Now I'm going to have some import games, some complete in box games, a ton of loose cartridge games, and also some accessories and different hardware. So I'm going to start out with all the loose cartridge games, and I'll just say from now I'm going to sort of skim over the not so good stuff and take a little bit of extra time on the better stuff, at least the stuff that's better to me. But I have everything sort of mixed up in these two basket things, so everything's completely random. So first is Dog's Fashion. Actually, for most of these not so good games, the reason why I got them is because they were either $1 or less or part of a bundle with other games. Next is Codename Kids Next Door Operation Soda. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team. Now, I played Blue Rescue Team on the DS more than Red Rescue Team, and actually Red Rescue Team I picked it up just, I think, a little while back, like within the last year. I completely forgot that I even had it, to be honest. SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. It's an okay platformer, nothing too special about it. Next is Golden Sun The Lost Age. And I also have another Golden Sun game, but not entirely sure where it is in this mess of games, but it'll show up. So yeah, Golden Sun The Last Age, or The Lost Age. I'm not entirely sure if this is the first or the second one. I've played part of the first one, but I think I'm still only just in the first dungeon, so it's I'm not that far into it. Next is Hey Arnold the Movie, a licensed game. I got this as part of a bundle. This one here, I actually found it in a bin of Game Boy Advance games at a used game store, and I was surprised to get it for as cheap as I did. It's Doom for the Game Boy Advance. Next is another licensed game. This one here is Rugrats Castle Capers. I have a soft spot in my heart, I suppose, when it comes to Rugrats games, just because I really love the TV show growing up. Next is a game that I'm actually currently playing, and I'm almost finished now. I think all I have to do, since I killed Robot Ripley already, if that's a big clue right there, I think I just have like one other section to go through, but anyways, the game is Metroid Zero Mission, and I think it's just a remake of the original Metroid game. Next is Sonic Advance 2, just a Sonic, standard Sonic game, really. Next, a game based on an anime that I really like, and just a TV show from my childhood that I really liked, Dragon Ball Z: The Legacy of Goku. Now, I wasn't a fan of this game. Lots of people say that it was a really good game, especially the sequel was good, but it just wasn't for me. Next is Kim Possible 3 Team Possible. Just a standard platformer where you switch between Kim Possible and Raw Unstoppable. Next is a not so good port, as these games usually are, Tony Hawk's Underground. The Tony Hawk ports to handheld systems have not been that great. Next is Advance Wars 2 Black Hole Rising. I like that it has a very cartoony style, but it's just a little too complicated for me to actually really enjoy it. Next is also a bad port. I'll still call it a port. It's Crazy Taxi Catch a Ride. It doesn't look nice. It was a really good Dreamcast game, but I just haven't really liked it on any other console. Next is another licensed game. It's Lilo and Stitch 2 Hamsterville Havoc, and it's a platformer where you play as Lilo and several of the aliens. Next is Super Mario Advance, and I believe it has Super Mario Bros. Sorry, it has Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. 2 on here, but yeah, it's fine. It's just a good port of the games. Next is Spyro Season of Flame, and I have to say this was one of my least favorite Spyro games on any system, really. Next is Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Edition, and this one here, actually, I believe it is the Japanese version because there's a lot of Japanese on here, and if I remember correctly, the box as well had Japanese on it, and I know that it is an official Nintendo cartridge, so it's not just some kind of a rip-off, but yeah, I like myself the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card games, so I have a couple of them. I have one more, actually, Game Boy Advanced one as well. And then this here isn't actually a game, and it's actually for the DS, but it is the shape of a Game Boy Advance cartridge. It's the Nintendo DS Rumble Pack. I thought it was just an interesting thing, and I didn't really have anywhere else to put it, and it fit perfectly with these cartridges. Let me just move over a little bit. Anyways, next up are all the Pokemon games I have for the Game Boy Advance. First is Pokemon Ruby. Now this one here, I played over 400 hours of it, and surprisingly, it's still not the most played Pokemon game I've ever played. I actually, on my first run through this game, I had a level 100 Exploud, but I think I transferred him over to my Diamond version, so he's not in this anymore. The other one I have here is Emerald version. I actually don't own Sapphire yet, at least the North American Sapphire I don't own yet, and that's actually the last main series Pokemon game that I still don't have. Next is Pokemon Fire Red and Pokemon Leaf Green, and to be honest, I actually didn't really play these ones. I played through them afterwards. Like, I got these both used many years ago, actually, right after they came out, and I got them for about $10 a piece, and I just played through the save file that the previous owner had, and it was just a fun map, I suppose. Next is Konami Collection Series Arcade Advanced. It's just a collection of classic arcade games, and I definitely like those kinds of games. Next is a game that I actually got back with the Game Boy Advance when I first got the system, and it's Mario Kart Super Circuit. I played this game to hell. It's one of the games that I played the absolute most. I unlocked everything. I had super amazing time. I kept on running Rainbow Road faster and faster and faster and faster, trying to get my time down, and eventually I think I just hit a wall and I couldn't do any better. Next is another licensed game, and it's actually a pretty terrible platformer. It's Wolverine's Revenge, and I believe it is called X2 Wolverine's Revenge because it came out about the same time as X2, the second X-Men movie. Next, Strawberry Shortcake Summertime Adventure. Not going to say anything about that, really. Sigma Star. Now, I know that this is one game in a series of games. I haven't played any of the other games in the series, and I actually haven't given this game any real attention. And it's kind of sad, but I should probably get around to it sometime soon. Just a couple more loose cartridge games here. Lunar Legend. Haven't played it yet. Here's the first Golden Sun game. This one is just called Golden Sun, so that's the one that I played, part of at least. Another collection game. This one here has Super Breakout, Millipede, and Lunar Lander. And I have to say, Lunar Lander is one of those games that I've tried over and over again to play, but I still can't really maneuver the lander properly, and I always crash and burn. Next up is Mario Party Advanced, and I don't know. It's a weird game to port to a handheld, especially one that was so personal and private. Because Mario Party games are really a party game. You should play it with a bunch of people. Here's another Yu-Gi-Oh game. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! The Sacred Cards. And this one here is the only one of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Games that I actually finished all the way through and then restarted and played through it all over again. Next is Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. I intend to delete the save file that's on here, but first I just wanted to go through it and see what everything looks like, and then go ahead and delete it and start the game from the beginning, just because I got this used and it already had the save file on there. And the last loose cartridge game that I have here is Mario Golf Advanced Tour. It's a pretty good Mario Golf game. I can't say anything bad about it, really. Now, let me just get these out of the way 1 second. Try to be fast about it. Sorry about that. I also had A Link to the Past with 4 swords on it when I was younger, but I have no idea what happened to that cartridge, and it's sort of killing me not knowing, but for all I know, it could have disappeared in the move when I was younger, or I could have traded it in and forgot about it. Next, I'm going to show you my boxed North American games, then I'm going to show you my 2 only boxed Japanese Game Boy Advance games. Now, first up, North American games here. I have 3 that are complete in box but not so nice condition, and then 2 sealed games with one of them has a sort of ripped seal though. So first up is Ace Combat Advance. It's just a okay flight sim. Next is Bomberman Tournament, and I actually haven't played this one yet. I got it for really cheap, but I never got around to actually playing it. At least you can use the 4-player link cable and play against 3 other people. It's probably not a good thing that I dropped that. But yeah, this game was actually made by, let's see, I'm not sure if it was made by Activision or just published by Activision, because Bomberman is a Hudson Soft game, a Hudson Soft character, that is. I'll try to speed this up because we're already at 13 minutes, and let's just get through this. Next is a fighting game, The King of Fighters EX Neo Blood. And I don't know, when it comes to handheld fighting games for older consoles, I prefer the Neo Geo Pocket Color fighting games. Next is Crash Nitro Kart and Xevious the Avenger. Both of them are sealed brand new. Let me just get these out of the way and then show you guys the 2 Japanese games that I have. They're nothing special considering they did come out in North America as well. They came out across the world, and they're going to have updates by the end of this year. It's Pokemon Ruby and Pokemon Sapphire. Now, I'm happy that I do own Sapphire and that I was able to get a Kyogre from this game, and I traded it through to my Diamond version. And yeah, I'm happy that I finally have a Kyogre after all these years with just Groudon. I finally have a Kyogre. And both of them are complete in box. The boxes are kind of crushed, but not too bad. They still look mostly fine. And I'm just going to show you one accessory before I get into the hardware. It is actually one of the weirdest accessories for any game console, and it's actually also pretty interesting, if I could just get my hair out of the way. It is the Game Boy Advance e-reader. Basically what this was a card scanner. It would scan dot something codes on that were printed onto cards, and depending on which ones you scanned in, and depending on if it was a set of cards or just a single card, it would unlock certain information like the statistics about something, or maybe even a mini game, and sometimes even a full game. Now, there was a series, or I think it might have been 2 or 3 series actually, of Pokemon cards that had e-reader codes on them. Some of them just had basic things like Pokédex information, and other ones had puzzles and mini games and stuff that you could unlock by having multiple cards scanned into the system. I, though, don't have any set of them. I just have some random cards because I wasn't too into collecting Pokemon cards at the time. That's actually the time that I started slowing down. But here are all my Pokemon cards that have the e-reader codes on them. Some of these actually don't have the e-reader codes on them, but they were part of the e-reader series, I should say. Here's a Wailmer, and he has a code at the bottom of the card there. And just in the series before these, they released some cards with the e-reader code on the side and on the bottom. And there were tons and tons of Pokemon cards with e-reader codes on them. And then I also have some various cards as well. Nothing too special for the most part. They released some classic games on this format. There's Donkey Kong Jr., and there's the set of cards that you'd scan in. Pinball, Excite Bike. They're just cards with codes and information on the one side and a basic picture on the other side. Balloon Fight. This one here is actually a sort of interesting card that I don't know too much about. This one here came as a promotion from Foxbox. Foxbox was the kids' entertainment block on Saturday mornings on the Fox channel until they replaced it with Fox Kids, and then 4Kids, and then they just stopped altogether. And this one here too was a Game & Watch Collection series card, and it's Manhole, and it was just on the one card itself. And yep, it was a pretty basic and fun game. And then they also had a series of Animal Crossing cards, each with a character and a description and different information printed on the codes there. But yeah, it was kind of gimmicky and weird. Nobody really knew what to do with it, and nobody really cared about it. And now the cards, because they were just cards and they could get lost or damaged very easily, they're kind of hard to find. Anyways, last thing I wanted to show you before I ended this video was all the different hardware I have, including my very first Game Boy Advance. It was the Glacier. I forget what the proper name for it is, but I'll just call it the Glacier Game Boy Advance. Now, the original screen on here was completely destroyed and hacked up because I was a stupid kid and I did that on purpose. But I did manage to replace that, and I also replaced the battery cover here because those always popped off and broke and got lost, and it was just a terrible, terrible design. But yeah, it has no stickers on the back because they all peeled off or started to peel off, and I just picked them right off. I have 2 other boxed Game Boy Advance systems. The first one here is the Jet Black Toys R Us exclusive in the box, in pretty good condition. And again, the Glacier, let's see if the color's actually listed on here, but it's the Japanese version of the Glacier Game Boy Advance. And yep, that's it for the standard Game Boy Advance. Then, as everybody knows, there was the re-release, the Game Boy Advance SP, and I actually don't have the original one from when I was a kid, like my first Game Boy Advance SP. I had the silver one with the backlight, but I don't know, it got lost or it broke or something happened to it. I just haven't been able to find it, so I just gave up and started looking for a new one, and then I got all of these for next to nothing. So first up is the navy blue, I'll call it, the blue Game Boy Advance SP. And all the ones that I have are just the 001s, none of the 101s. I have the red one and the black one as well. But the most interesting of the Game Boy Advance handhelds was the third revision, the one that allowed you only to play Game Boy Advance games and did not allow you to play any of the Game Boy Color or Game Boy games that came before it. It is the Game Boy Micro, and I include this in the Game Boy Advance line because all it plays is Game Boy Advance games, even though it's not named Game Boy Advance Micro or Game Boy Advance something else. It's just the Game Boy Micro. It's one of my favorite handhelds, and I have this one here from when the handheld came out. It was really interesting and tiny, and I could just stick it in my pocket and take it with me anywhere. And it even came with its own little baggie here, this little pouch. And then recently I found another one for sale on Kijiji with a couple of games, and I think I paid either $65 or $70 for it. And the reason why I went for this is because this was a variation to it. I had just the standard silver one, and I lost the other faceplates. I don't know what happened to them, and all I have left is this blue sort of electric faceplate. But this one here is the black Game Boy Micro with the camouflage faceplate, and I like that the Game Boy Micro had these interchangeable faceplates, and it lets you sort of customize your handheld much more than previously possible, because in the past, before this, there wasn't really any way of customizing it other than by sticking decal stickers and stuff like that on it. Anyways, I've just been rambling on for way too long. This is my collection. If there's anything you'd like to see in more detail, just let me know. Anything you found interesting, again, just let me know. Anything that you might have in your collection that's interesting or you think that I'd be interested in, just to sort of hear about, let me know. Anything you have to say really in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. If you sat through this video to this point here, thank you very much. This is the end really of this video, and as always, leave comments in the comment section below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And check out my Facebook, my Twitter, my website. They're all linked in the description. And that's it. See ya.